The big ask. Ukrainian President Zelensky this morning addressed the U.S. Congress. While the U.S. has been providing military support to Ukraine, Zelensky is asking for something that the United States has been reluctant so far to provide. Through a translator, he said,
"Is this a lot to ask for, to create a no-fly zone over Ukraine to save people? Is this too much to ask?"
Zelensky then showed a powerful and graphic video depicting the beauty of Ukraine before the invasion by Russia and the devastation and death since. And then speaking in his own voice, he said,
"The Ukrainian people are defending not only Ukraine, we are fighting for the values of Europe and the world, sacrificing our lives in the name of the future."
And this direct message to the White House.
President Biden, you are the leader of your great nation. I wish you to be the leader of the world.
There's more from ABC's Ines de la Cuetara.
We saw Zelensky here calling for additional sanctions and for all American companies to stop doing business in Russia. But the most important part of his speech was when he pleaded with the U.S. for aerial support. So he explicitly said, "We need you." He asked lawmakers to remember events like Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
The Federal Reserve is expected to gradually raise interest rates starting today. ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis.
The Fed's goal is to keep the U.S. economy running like Goldilocks porridge, not too hot and not too cold. The trouble is, and everyone at home can feel this, the economy right now is running too hot when it comes to prices, which have been going up for months on everything from your grocery bill to your gas bill.
In Texas, the death roll has risen to 9 after a head-on collision between a passenger van carrying members of the University of the Southwest men's and women's golf teams and a pickup truck in West Texas last night. This is ABC News.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with reputationdefender.com patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at reputationdefender.com.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station. My name is Deborah. I serve as a district manager for the Florida Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. I am passionate about helping others and advocating to protect the quality of life and the rights for those who many times cannot help themselves. You can make a difference in someone's life today. Visit us at ombudsman.myflorida.com to learn more.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call
now
Optima
I don't.
for
Thank
a free
you.
consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
They say by learning from the past and focusing on the present, you can prepare for the future. Focus now. Here's another hour on the FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN.
This program is furnished by AMP2TV.Square.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business.
Live from the AMP Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. What is it, Wednesday?
Beautiful Wednesday. Actually, it's not.
It
It's
ain't
another
beautiful.
rainy day
It's been
in South
raining
Florida.
all freaking day.
I know.
I got my car wash, is a mess.
And yesterday.
And then Sunday, you guys had some kind of windstorm, or Saturday, I don't know.
Us guys? Where
Yeah.
were you?
My-
Don't you live in
well,
Florida?
My trees have no...
I did that?
Yeah. I didn't even notice. I look up this morning, I says, I don't have any more leaves. Oh, God.
They're everywhere. I know. It was like a mini storm we had here over the weekend. You just now realized it 5 days later. Where have you been?
I thought it was because Sir Gubba landed.
Ah.
You know, he brings this huge wind with him.
I'm just wondering where you've been since Saturday,
I see
actually.
we have a discotheque next door.
I know. You ready to dance it out?
No, I'm going to send Lana over to tell him he's got to lower it. It's ridiculous. But anyway, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a real unusual show today because it's going to be in segments today.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about, later on, we're going to talk about in the news and things of that nature. We're going to have some guests in the studio. We have Mr. Gubba. He seems so thrilled to be here. Look at him. He's like a million
He's
laughs.
just hanging out. We've got a new guest joining us. We've got senior advisor Paul Solomon. I'm chilling. You're chilling.
I'm chilling.
Well, it's good because tomorrow is St. Patty's Day and you're not here, so we're going to have to do a pre-game, as they say, to St. Patty's Day.
We have the team warming up in the bullpen.
All right.
For the St. Patty's Day cocktails.
You know, people ask how we do this. I say we have a full bar over there for after hours is what we get to do.
They were asking me, how does a man who is like you have like an empire of rum, how do you live your day? Are you constantly sipping? Are you tipping? I mean, how do you live your day?
Let me ask you one question, though. Are you talking about, when you speak of my Gubba Rum empire,
Yeah.
are we talking about my empire in terms of the empire of Julius Caesar just before the Ides of March? Or are we talking about the Roman Empire after the barbarians had its way with the city of Rome in the year 500 AD?
You need to change your perspective, my
Yeah,
friend.
what is wrong with
But
you?
first, say good morning to Mr. Radio.
Mr. Radio, how are you?
Top of the morning, doing well.
Top of the morning.
Top of the morning.
You ready to celebrate St. Patty's Day with us, Mr. Radio?
Absolutely.
Awesome. You can give us a call live on the radio. What's the number? I don't ask you.
No, don't ask me.
888-565-1470 live on WWNN 95.3, 96.9 and 1470 AM. And we have breaking news. Our show yesterday,
Yeah.
top show of the month, over 10,000 views on Roku and streaming. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but that's not a fair deal. It was a good number yesterday.
That was a good number.
But I didn't put Lauren's show in until today.
Oh, so we'll have to put that one
So
up
we
next.
have to see what happens. And of course, Mr. Gubba is here, AKA Nero, who killed Caesar during the fall of the Roman Empire.
Oh yeah, and I just bring them in by the truckload, you know.
Lauren
the
Monroe
rail
and Rick
car
Allen.
load.
Yes,
They come for me.
But you know what yesterday's show just goes to show you, no pun intended, absolutely not, is that people are still looking for good stories and kindness in the world.
Yes, well, yesterday's show had not
It was
the
all about
Maserati
kindness.
people,
Ferrari.
the Ferrari people in here, and the, you know, I know.
Kindness Angels, the Ferrari Club. It was all about giving back to our community, veterans,
Yes.
homeless.
And
yeah.
it would have been a bigger show if I had given the right phone number out.
Well, somebody called in, and they actually asked us to do the open for their show.
Yes.
And you got remarried, which was nice, Steve. That was a quick marriage, you.
Oh, yes, I almost forgot. What a
You and
it's
Alex,
terrible.
a quick wedding, quick ceremony,
It was
quick
great.
divorce.
It's great. The consummation wasn't what I expected, but okay, you know. I was hoping for a spin around the
It
block
was a
in
nice
Ferrari.
morning show with Steve Go.
Can he say confirmation? Come here.
I said
I'll give you
confirmation.
I'll confine you.
I'm
confirm
talking,
you.
I'm talking about a religious
Did you
experience.
do your confirmation?
Excuse me?
Did you do your confirmation?
No.
I did. You know they slap you in the face when they do it.
I know. That's
Not when
because,
you're Jewish, they don't.
Yeah, they
and
do.
that's the religion of
Catholics
peace,
do.
right?
They do.
Yeah, they smack you.
They smack. They don't drown you first and then
No,
smack
that's
you
a
to wake you up?
baptism. That's a baptism.
Oh, okay.
Don't get your stuff mixed
Then
up.
I get so confused.
I know. Give us a call, everyone.
I could
888-565-1470. He so digresses. We've got some hot news going on, some hot
Hold
topics.
on a second. When you become Jewish to transfer over, don't you have to take a bath or something?
A woman does. I don't think a man takes a mikveh, do they?
Well,
A
you
mik-
could.
I mean, you could. I never
You
heard.
could.
A Molly?
It's typically if it's for women.
What do you take?
A mikveh.
A mikveh?
I take a bicarbonate of soda, but
Like being baptized.
So
or an
why does a
Alka-Seltzer.
woman have to take a mikveh?
To be clean, apparently.
And guys are stinkier than women.
Right?
I'm going to leave that to your
What
imagination.
is that? I
Freddie.
mean, talk about.
I wanted to take a shower, and the rabbi said, no, you know how to do that. Wait, now I understand why. I'm not a woman.
They do it they use the beach now in South Florida. You can take the mikveh at the beach.
You take a mikveh at the beach that
Yes.
has all sorts of
It's
microisms?
just cleansing. Like when you get baptized, you can go to the beach and the ocean as well. Same thing for the mikveh, the Jewish religion. It's about cleansing.
Is that what it is?
A lot of similarities between religions.
And then you become Jewish when you do that?
Well, no, you have to go through classes and learn about it. But if people actually took the time to realize how similar we are instead of how different they think we might be in a much better place.
I think there's more power in numbers. I was just wondering because
Let me
I
tell
see
you,
Gaba.
what I learned today. And now I don't know, this has not been confirmed, that much of the support that the Ukraine is getting is through Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
I don't know if that's a true statement.
That is what I was told today because the wallets can be transferred and things can be purchased like Airbnb, I was told. If you go to Airbnb and you want to send money to help the Ukraine, you can book an Airbnb. You can pay for the Airbnb in Ukraine, clearly not use it because you're not going to the Ukraine, but then that money goes to help support the people of Ukraine.
I disagree with that. I think that people who have Bitcoin will love to hear that news because it raises the stakes. I get it.
Or
But
any type of
Congress
crypto that is
just gave
being
them
used.
$800 million, and it wasn't $800 million of Ukraine. It wasn't
Well,
Bitcoin.
no, but this is for everyday people that want to help support the effort.
Well, I just saw that we're going to be putting some pieces of the Ukraine on the second hour, but I saw where some famous people that went there to fight, we've lost them. One of them was somebody who was a dancer, and she went to feed some animals in a shelter, and she was killed by sniper fire. So
Wow.
it's a bad situation, getting worse. But I think that the amount of money, I think he's talking to Congress right now.
Yep.
I think he's asking Congress to do something more. And you know, when you're caught between a rock and a rock, it's a hard situation. Unless you're ready to go to World War III, DEFCON 4, whatever the hell it is, the movie's saying.
Calling the rock.
You know, it's funny. Oh, did you see? I
Calling the
forgot to
rock.
tell you. Musk, is
Elon
that his
Musk,
name?
yeah.
Elon Musk challenged Putin to a fight, one-on-one, to put it on paper, a satellite all over the
A
world.
fight,
just
you mean
the two.
with like lightsabers and stuff?
No, the two of them physically fight.
Come on.
Oh, that's the way to go. Lightsabers.
All right, let's reignite Star Wars and send like lightsabers.
not lightsabers.
Great. I love
Did
that.
you see this? Did you read it?
Yeah.
It's about he challenged him to come out and have a fist fight. Winner take all.
Are you serious?
Yes. It was all over the place and people were making fun. First of all, Putin is built like a tank. You ever seen him? He thinks he's Playboy America. So he used to walk around with no shirt. You ever seen him?
Yeah, he
That was
rides on.
years ago.
He goes on horseback without his shirt, so everybody.
And he impresses the women. So
I would do that, but I just don't want to.
No, your horse
You've been
rides.
hanging out in South
the horse
Florida too
rides
long.
you. The horse will ride you.
We got to get Steve a pair of those hot dog boxers that are on our merch store.
I'm not getting him that. And I highly suggest you don't get him that. I ain't getting nowhere near his boxes. Passing on that. But Elon Musk, can you believe this? I always thought if you take the best fighters, the problem is if you lose, right?
How is that even a real thing? It's like an old school duel.
It's not a real thing, Dawn. It was funny. It was must be funny. That's his sense of humor.
I don't know.
Pistols at dawn. That's for me.
I feel like we're back to Alexander Hamilton and the duel is what it sounds like to me.
Listen, that we're in this situation, to me, is just mentally all over the place.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. And we have this guest coming on next week, and he's going to talk about that. He's a survivor of Auschwitz, and he remembers because he was a teenager when through the camps and through the war. So he remembers what went on. He said he never thought in his lifetime that we would be back in this situation again with another Hitler type. And he cannot believe. So he is documenting his story through the Shoah Foundation. Really exciting. So he's going to be on our show next Wednesday with his son, talking about everything he's going through, the technology that Steven Spielberg has created that is right here in our backyard on Dania Beach, the Shoah Foundation and the documentation area. So they've asked him 1,000 questions with a variety of answers, and then he's going to be turned into a hologram. So when you ask him a question, there will be a variety of answers. I feel like it's Star Trek. Did you ever think Star Trek would be real?
You know, it's funny that you say that because one of the presidents, I think it was Obama, somebody came up and they said, I think it was the guy before Obama. Who was before Obama? The son and
Bush.
I think it was George Bush.
And he said, if you saw what I saw, you wouldn't sleep at night. Because there is warfare that just one missile will wipe out this nation. And when you start screaming at the president to do more and to do no-fly zones, and you better be careful what you ask for. You have no idea of what this madman is capable of.
But that history repeats itself, and there are people that are reliving it, thinking, I can't even believe that we are living through this again in this century, in this day and age, with the technology and everything that we've got going, the information, the education, all of these programs, to sit and watch this happen again?
Well, it's on steroids, because what we saw in World War II is nothing like what would happen today. I'm telling you, nothing like it. They have stuff.
Meaning that was worse, or this would be worse?
No, this would be
different warfare.
My
totally
goodness
different
gracious.
warfare, yeah.
They got chemicals now that will come here from the air. It'll be all over. You better be careful what you wish for, because this madman can let something loose and there's no recovery. You can't fight a bacterial war. You think COVID was bad? How would you like to have COVID 100 times worse put on the head of a missile? I'm going to tell you something. Don't beat up on Biden. Do I like Biden? He's my president. Simple. But be very careful what you ask for. Because what you're dealing with here is not a sane person. For him to do what he thinks he's doing, now he has the Chinese talking about it's okay if he does that because, you guys screamed at us, really. And it's what it's come down to. So be very careful of what you ask for. I look at gas.
Look at the ramifications of it. Sure, there's consequences to actions, always.
Always. And this consequence could be major.
All right, shall we take a commercial break?
Let's do
When we
that.
come back, let's get into our brunch show, talk to our new sponsors. Of course, go pregame a little bit with Steve Gubb. Give us a call at the radio station. Say hello to Mr. Radio, 888-565-1470. If you hear the music in the background, we're going to ask them to lower it. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA, have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
Welcome to Mini Donut World, where the donuts are hot, fresh, and delicious, made to order and customizable by you. Gourmet specialty flavors such as apple pie, French toast, campfire, and strawberry cheesecake are always popular. Looking to tailor your appetite? Build your own mini donut. Choose from over 18 flavored donut bases, add on your icing flavor, and choose from over 15 toppings and drizzles. While kids enjoy our design your own kits to take home, our 21 and over customers love our alcohol-infused donuts. Come visit Mini Donut World at 8763 Sterling Road in Cooper City. Have questions or want to place an order? Give us a call at 954-369-2301. We know you will love each bite of our deliciously distinctive mini donuts.
Cool, calm, collected. Needing a drink to end a long day, or maybe to start your vacation right? Gubba Rum is here to let you kick back and do just that. Inspired by a technique that dates back to the 1800s, these artisanal, organic, and naturally infused rums are made from pure cane and the finest fruits, spices, and herbs the world has to offer. Gubba Silver is infused with naturally shredded coconut, and Gubba Gold is infused with real vanilla bean. Simply shake and enjoy. Visit GubbaRum.com to find the nearest location to buy or enjoy. All establishments have personally reviewed and enjoyed firsthand the wicked smoothness of Gubba Rum. 35% ABV and 70 proof. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're back.
Today is National Freedom of Information Day, March 16th. So if anyone can look that up and see what that means, let us know. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. We are still in March Merch Madness on our website. Everything is 10% off. You can check out our website and all of our merch and all of our other collaborative merch that's out there on brooklyncafe.tv/shop and get all the information. Coupon code is BC10. Yes, for 10% off all of the merch in our store. But I want to get into our show. I want to welcome a new sponsor to the cafe. We've got Paul Solomon. He is a certified senior advisor with LUHU Advisors. So welcome, Paul.
Thank you. Thanks
I
for
don't know
having
if
me.
it's Luhu or LUA. I feel like I'm going to
It's
go.
Luhu.
Luhu, like Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah, well, let us help you. That's what it stands for.
Let us help you. There you go, Luhu.
I have to give my wife credit for that because
I
she
like
came up
that.
with that name. Absolutely.
So welcome to Luhu Senior Advisors. Tell us what a senior advisor does.
Well, my background, I'm a licensed real estate broker and I'm a licensed insurance agent. I'm also a certified senior advisor, and what that does is incorporates working with baby boomers and seniors to understand how to protect their assets and pay for long-term care. So I deal with government benefits, I deal with VA benefits, I deal with Medicaid benefits, I deal with Medicare, and then I also deal with their real estate, depending upon if they want to stay at home, do they want to move into an assisted living or nursing home, how are they going to pay for that, is there government benefits available for that? And then I look at their insurance policies, whether they have long-term care and where it covers, life insurance policies, whether to cash them in or not, depending on cash values. The legal aspect of do they have their documents in place, meaning power of attorney, healthcare directive, living will. So I work with attorneys to make sure that the document's in place, because once they become incompetent, the seniors, then what? Can't make decisions, and you have to make sure there are people in place to make decisions. Otherwise, the state of Florida will make the decisions for them.
And there are times when mom and dad get older, or mom and dad have Alzheimer's, and you think, I cannot afford for help for them.
Correct.
So one of the mom or dad becomes the sole caregiver, because the kids may live out of state, maybe they even live here, but they have their own lives. And it becomes a tremendous responsibility, but perhaps some of these policies can be transferred or something done to create funds?
Correct. I mean, the first meeting that I have with somebody is I have them do an intake just to understand everything that's involved. Fortunately, unfortunately, a lot of the adult children really don't know what their parents have, meaning assets, meaning what accounts they're in, and things like that. So that's the hunt and the search to find these documents, whether it's the legal documents, financial documents, to see where is everything situated. A big problem that I always see is beneficiaries. Are the right beneficiaries on those policies because somebody got divorced, there are stepchildren involved. So I really take a look at everything that encompasses that family that the adult children really don't know, and it's that time to get everything together, to straighten everything out and not wait till somebody passes away and then say, uh-oh, where is everything and what do I need to do?
So the key is to get you sooner rather than later when there's a crisis situation.
Correct. Crisis, I mean, people really don't like to plan. The biggest challenge is getting your parents or the adult seniors to let you in to their world. I've had the personal experience myself where my parents, I didn't know where everything was. And then it came that day in 2008, 2009, where my dad started to show dementia and gave everything to my mom to handle, and she couldn't handle it. So that's when I got the phone call. That's when I started doing this. 2008, 2009, my parents became my first client, and that's kind of how I developed this business, just helping families understand that where to find the money, how to protect the money, and how to pay for the needs of the health issues that pop up.
Now, what if the family has no long-term care policy?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have life insurance anymore because they've cashed in the policy at some point in their life to pay to live, but they need care. They need more help, either in-home or in a facility. Are there options?
There are options, and that's when I sit down with them. Again, if somebody is a veteran, there's veteran benefits and there's spousal benefits also that a lot of people don't know. When their husband passed away who served, the spouses can get benefits for the medical side and the long-term care side. And then there's Medicaid. Medicaid's a great benefit that people really don't understand. People think they have to be poor and indigent, and if they do have some assets, that's where the planning comes in, where in the state of Florida, we're unique, where we are able to move assets around to qualify somebody, even if they're over the limits by a little bit or a lot. There's rules and laws that we can use the elder law attorney to be able to put the assets in certain places and transfer them legally so that people can qualify for these benefits. If they own a house, there's ways, whether it's a reverse mortgage, to pull money out of the house so somebody can stay in their house because everybody wants to stay home. But their biggest asset usually is their house. The mortgage is paid off, and we deal with a reverse mortgage specialist to be able to pull the money out of the house so they can stay in that house for as long as they want.
I think that's when we found you on another show that Freddie produces that I found the most interesting, because I remember years and years ago to convert someone's assets or lack thereof to Medicaid, and different facilities have the same beds, but Medicare may pay for some beds in facility A. You can be in the same high-scale facility and have a Medicaid bed in the same place. And I think there's a misnomer that people think if you convert to Medicaid, you're going to get substandard care. Is that true?
No, it's not. I mean, for instance, my dad, when we were setting up and doing the planning for Medicaid, one of the best places in Palm Beach County, they took Medicaid. That bill every month was $13,000 a month. It wasn't substandard. It looked like a hotel that he was in. And I was able to get him Medicaid. It was fully paid for by the state. What the state does is it requires you to use your Social Security and or pensions to kind of co-pay. and then the state picks up the rest of the tab. So here we were able to pick a very nice facility for him to be in, and it was covered by Medicaid.
I think that's so important for people to understand, because when I talk to people and people call and they say to me, I never thought mom and dad would be sick. They were always healthy. Well, we were also a lot younger, and just by the nature of what it is, we never planned for this day. Now what are we going to do? If I convert to Medicaid, they're going to get terrible care. No one's going to watch them. It's like they see on TV.
Right.
But that's not true.
No, and again, it's state by state. So I have a lot of people where the adult children live around the country and even up north. And I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the rules of New York and New Jersey. And people are amazed at what we can do down here, where I've had families move their loved ones down here to then qualify for benefits because they could do it a lot quicker. We can protect their assets, which in the state of New York you can't. You would have to spend down all your assets. There is a 5-year look back, which they have around the country. There is one here, but we're able to be able to move their assets around to protect them and qualify them sooner than 5 years.
I don't think people realize how important this is. And you know, when your parents needed care, you couldn't afford care. We used to joke about the Latino way versus the Jewish way, right? You would keep your loved ones home, and we are quick to put them somewhere for them to be taken care of, whether it be culturally, I don't know what it is.
It's lack
different.
of education is really what it is. You feel a huge vacancy for people who think the system works the way it doesn't. And you sort of frown upon going in that direction because you don't know any better. And when you come from Puerto Rico, you go to Puerto Rico, it's just the opposite. The kid there begins bad,
Right.
and it just gets worse.
Right.
That's what's happening. That's the truth of the matter. But when you come here, my father, I put him at, what was it, Boca?
He was in the hospital, yeah.
In the hospital? He thought he was in a hotel.
Right.
He says, oh, I like it here. I says, no, you don't. You got to leave. Oh, no, leave the nurses alone. He was having a great time, and they were all around him. And he says, this is a hospital. This is like a hotel here. So it depends on the care that you get. Depends on having the right information to get there. When you have the wrong information, man, my mother made some big mistakes in her stuff.
I think what we get to do, which I'm so passionate about, is we get to share education and resources in every level, at every stage of life. And if your parents are not able to, because even if they haven't been diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's, sometimes the processing is just different than it should be. It takes a little bit longer. So sometimes it takes the kids to come in and call Paul and say, this is the situation, can you help?
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part is the senior. You know, the seniors, just that whole generation, they want to protect their money, they want to protect the money from their kids, and they don't understand that as they get older and sicker, it gets very expensive. And when they get to a point where they don't understand money. My mom, who's 93, she has dementia. She keeps telling me how much money she has. She has no idea how much money she has. We moved her money a couple of years back to protect it. And she's in a memory care assisted living. My dad was. I mean, at one point between my mom and my dad 3 years ago, we were spending $22,000 a month.
Wow.
Before my mom let me move my dad into a nursing home. So that was completely paid for. And then I had to wait till my mom got to that point where I can get her long-term care to kick in. By the time I was able to put all that together, we were spending less than $1,000 a month out of pocket for the two of them. And it really is amazing with the planning, but the senior, if it's a stubborn senior, they won't let their adult children have their money or you know, even understand where it is. And the seniors, they'll give their son or daughter power of attorney, and with the new power of attorneys, or the power of attorneys that have been done in the last 10, 15 years, as soon as the senior signs that power of attorney, that power of attorney, that agent, can take all their money, they can do everything, they can wipe them out, because it's immediate. It's not a springing power of attorney where they had to wait for them to become incompetent and signed off by doctors. So they'll give them the power of attorney, but not really understanding that they can go into the bank and empty out their account today. So a lot of people that I can't help or don't help, it's because their father will not let us maneuver the money around what we need to do to protect their assets. And they said, no, they could have it when I die. I mean, that's an expression I've heard I don't know how many times. And they don't understand how expensive it's going to get. And there won't be anything left after working for 30, 40, 50 years, saving all this money to leave a legacy, and there's nothing left at the end.
Because then you're paying $20,000 a month for care.
Correct. Correct.
And
And a big thing with Medicaid that people don't understand, it's not just for the nursing home, because I hear that a lot. We can get home care and up to 40 hours a week for somebody to come into a house so that the loved one could stay there.
Wow.
If they go into an assisted living, there's money to be had to help them pay for the care portion of the bill. And then the last place would be the nursing home. But everybody thinks that I talk to, or, right off the bat is, oh, it's about a nursing home and Medicaid. No, they'll provide home care for families that people just don't know about.
People don't know because things have changed from our grandparents' generation, even
Correct.
from our parents' generation, to be able to call you. Now, I wanted to be clear, you don't do the legal documents and you don't do the placement. You have a team that you work with.
Correct. I have people within my certified senior advisor world that I'm dealing with a senior placement if somebody needs to go into an assisted living. I'm dealing with a home care agency if they want to be at home. That again, that's a CSA. The attorneys that I deal with, they understand elder law, but also the estate planning aspect of it. So I kind of cover everything, and the designation certification allows me a little bit of knowledge to be dangerous about everything. But where my real estate license and my insurance license come is predominantly what I need to cover. I then explain to them the other people that can be involved in this process, and I bring them in so that they do their jobs.
The VA benefits are tremendous because I know my in-laws tried to get VA benefits, and just getting through to someone before you get them or you don't get them you need patience, you need to get through the right channels. It's really difficult, and you have to serve to a certain level, and whether that's true or not, I don't know, because the information gets disseminated back.
Right.
You don't know if you're getting the right information sometimes from the seniors.
Correct. I mean, there's definitely documents. The DD-214 is the discharge papers that really everything starts with, because really nobody knows or remembers when somebody was in the military, was it wartime. There's specific dates for wartime where somebody can get the benefits. If somebody was just in the military, they can get the medical side, but they can't get the long-term care side because they had to serve during wartime, and those dates are specific. So they changed the law and the rules in 2018. That's kind of when I stopped doing VA benefits, because it was easier to get Medicaid benefits, and Medicaid benefits really are a better benefit. So unfortunately, I get veterans that call me, and I'm like, listen, I apologize, I can't get you the benefit because you either didn't serve or there's other situations. What about Medicaid? And because they want their benefits, but that's one benefit that's specific to certain veterans that we can get. And the Medicaid benefits, can they get both? Yeah, I've gotten both VA benefits and Medicaid benefits for people also.
Does the VA benefits move on to wife and kids?
Wife.
Just the wife?
Just the wife, yep.
What if someone is collecting disability? Can they qualify? Is that considered income for Medicaid, an asset?
Depending upon how much they're receiving and depending upon their income, because again, I could say, yes, it does count, or yes, it doesn't count.
It depends.
But unfortunately, it really depends on the situation. And sometimes somebody, especially a veteran that has VA disability, that could be the best benefit. So somebody that's 100% disabled, I can't really help on the long-term care side because they're getting as much as they possibly can. So it's now a question of them getting the medical side, which they probably already know about.
There's so much information, and it's just people don't realize what's out there, what's available. And being in Florida is a huge benefit.
Yeah, I mean, but being in Florida, I mean, I literally have people that have flown their parents down here to put them right into a nursing home. And people, again, the misinformation that's out there about residency or not residency, well, if somebody's living in a nursing home, they're a resident of the state of Florida. And once they're in there, then they can qualify, and I've qualified people in 30 days to get Medicaid benefits and protect whatever assets they have.
Can you imagine saving your whole life for that rainy day? My grandfather used to always say, I'm saving for a rainy day.
Right.
The rain came, the hurricane
pouring,
came, the
it's pouring.
thunderstorm came, he had Parkinson's, he had laryngeal cancer. It wasn't rainy enough for him to go into anything. And this is what it was like. He wouldn't release and let my mother do anything because it wasn't pouring enough for him.
Right.
So finally they had to do some creative financing, but it took years and years to do that. It wasn't, this was back in the day, as you always say.
Right.
The options weren't the same as they are now.
Yeah, and it's, it's frustrating because I could sit across the table from a family, and personally I like to have the adult children have the first conversation with me so I can set them up so they understand what's available and what's going on before I have the senior sitting there. because once the senior's sitting there, they just don't have any idea of what I can do, and all they care about is how much it's going to cost me.
Sure. Well,
And
how
what
do you get paid? Let's talk about that.
I get paid by the families.
Okay.
So depending upon if I'm consulting, which I consult with families, just explaining to them so they can put it all together, or if I'm doing a full-blown plan for Medicaid or VA, usually the attorney that I work with gets paid, and then he pays me as an independent contractor to do the work that I do. So, I mean, they're paying the attorney in one way, or they're paying me directly the other way. I don't get paid by
So
the
it comes from the
government or any
family.
other services.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is good to know. What's the best way for people to contact you?
My cell phone is my only phone number I have. It's 954-540-6609. My email is paulsolomonpa@gmail.com, all one word. Or you can go to my websites, luhurealty.com and luhuadvisors.com.
Let us help you. Luhu, like Cindy Lou Who. It's totally spelled different.
Yeah.
You had a lot of things. Did you learn a lot?
Yeah, I wish I had known Paul when my mom and dad were alive, because my father was exactly. He left me a mess, which he's been gone, what, 6 years now, 5 years, whatever. And I'm still a mess. And I'm trying to get it done little by little, but all of a sudden it falls on me and my sister, and then I lost a brother, so his son takes over. Right. And this is a cluster. It's a mess. So my cousin, his father died, Juji. Father said the same thing. You get it when I die. And he has a mess.
Right.
So we talk to each other, and we end up saying the same things over and over again. And PR in Puerto Rico is even more difficult than it is here. For me to go talk to somebody, I had to have a passport.
Right.
Not a driver's license, a passport. And then it had to be documented that the passport was real. So I said to the guys, listen, man, I've come here 3 times from Florida. This is real. Call whoever you got to call, because I ain't going back. And they still didn't resolve the issues with the banks and the money and everything. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Having a power of attorney or having one that's been updated is a huge thing for a lot of families. I just had this daughter call me the other day, and she's, oh, I have one. I said, okay, from where? Well, it was from Vermont or New Hampshire from about 15 to 20 years ago. She's like, but it works. I said, okay, it works until it doesn't.
That's right.
And unfortunately, being long distance, because she's back and forth, that one time where something needs to be done and they won't let you do it because there's either not the correct wording. A lot of the updates on the power of attorneys, the attorneys I work with, have Medicaid language in there that's needed. So if the power of attorney is signing off on a lot of the papers, Medicaid wants to see this Medicaid language in there. So an updated power of attorney is the first place. Nobody wants to go through a guardianship. It costs money and it costs time, and now you have the state involved with it to make sure you do everything correct. So it's so important, and I see it so many times that people don't want to spend a couple $100, that's all it is, for a new power of attorney.
Got to get Justin Mooney in here.
Well, the bottom line is,
Yeah.
if you think that it's right, it's probably wrong. Just have it checked.
Right.
Go through all your papers, because if you don't, the pain at the end of this thing, take it from me, is tremendous. Tremendous. Every day it's another problem, especially when you have properties. And what do you do with them? Renting them. Doing COVID was a nightmare. Nightmare. I was taking people in, I didn't even know who they were. It's like Gubba. He finds strange people at airports to go stay. It was just a nightmare.
You got to get your documents in place.
And people don't understand the word nightmare. Trust me, it's a nightmare. So just have it checked. You know, you give him a call, you sit down, you look at the paperwork. He's going to tell you what's good, bad, or ugly, what needs to be changed, and you go from there.
Give Paul a call, 954-540-6609. More to come. We got people to introduce you to, but if you either are sick, had babies, invited a lot of people today, but we will get you in touch with a team that we work with here at the cafe. We're going to take a commercial break.
Is Gubba's paperwork?
I don't know.
Uncle Steve's paperwork up to spot?
You always like to watch body language and see.
I see him turning like a pretzel. Talk it to your mic. Talk it to your mic.
Oh, yeah. I just heard in my little earphone where I get all this information during the show, is that when the walls of Jericho came tumbling down, you were there and blamed me once again. So it's not my fault. That's all I have
We're
to
going
say.
to take a commercial break. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. More great information. Contact Paul, Certified Senior Advisor. A lot of great information. It's just a phone call and a meeting, and it'll definitely help you. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Coming to a theater near you, a new musical you won't want to miss. Mario Lanza, His Life, His Song, celebrating the life of renowned tenor and movie star Mario Lanza. Starring tenor Ian Michael as Mario Lanza with soprano Maria Kesselman. Watch these award-winning operatic singers in a sensational theatrical evening of music, laughter, and drama. With 7 shows throughout London, don't miss your chance to see this spectacular performance in person, beginning March 24th through May 15th, or catch it on the Brooklyn Cafe's live stream on April 14th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit MarioLanzaMusical.com.
Breathing through my troubles, trying to be smart, living with another, passion in my heart, partners come and go, always with a twirl.
Providing music you will enjoy. JM Production performers will brighten up your stage. Condominiums and residential communities, nightclubs and restaurants that want to provide top quality singers and entertainers for their social events, banquets, celebrations, and their customers use JM Productions to ensure that they have an uplifting and beautiful event. Now, tune in for the show.
Dancing for my life.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hilary Taylor at drthc.net. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology and now practice as a certified life coach. At Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community, we will work together using a holistic approach to improve and maintain your wellness and take the first steps towards creating the life that you want, need, and deserve. Call me today at 1-833-552-4442. And remember, drthc.net.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. I am so glad today we got an early start. Where are we headed anyway?
Who knows? Wherever this glorious day takes us, and we'll take Don Pablo along too. Rich and flavorful with low acidity and notes of caramel. No matter where you're going or where you end up, Don Pablo never disappoints.
Excuse me, is that Don Pablo coffee?
Sure is.
Do you have any more?
Sure do. Then hop in.
No matter where life takes you, Don Pablo Coffee is always there to pick you up.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Yeah, we're back.
I love how you and I can see the same information, and then it's different perspectives of what it is.
Of course. One you care, two I don't. It's really simple.
Well, I got to introduce you to Justin Mooney from HHK. I don't know if you know him, Paul. So he does our estate planning attorney as here in the cafe, so I want to make that introduction. He is a new father now, though. He has probably a 2-week-old little boy. So he's got family in town, but he's definitely going to make that introduction. It's why Justin says all the time, you got to get that paperwork in place, get your beneficiaries in place. I know, I got to do it too.
And Justin's son doesn't wear Pampers.
I was going to talk to him about that. He doesn't believe in diapers, so
No
we're going to see how
diapers.
that's going.
There's something he says.
He's not walking, he's 2 weeks old, but so he's doing
He's
something
just
naked.
pooping all over the place. And Justin says that if you don't put it on them, they don't get the urge. And I said, yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. I'm pretty sure.
There's a big thing with cloth diapers going on now where people are either going back to it or they're saying they're not healthy. Like Pampers are more healthy than that, which I didn't understand. But
Cloth was never healthy because it isn't healthy. It's that people don't change them.
Right.
And when it weighs 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and you haven't changed it, nothing's healthy, right?
Right.
Steve will tell you.
Well, I change mine frequently. I don't
But
wait.
yours
I don't
aren't
wait 5
cloth.
hours, Freddie. Come
Yours
on.
aren't cloth.
Wait till you
Or
see
5
what
pounds.
Dia's guest does tomorrow on Teenpreneur.
Yeah, no.
What'd she do?
Organic tampons.
Anyway, moving on. Like I tell
I thought
you,
that would change the
I don't
subject pretty
care. Some
quickly.
things I don't care.
I know my audience had to change that all
We don't want to know more than
You
that's
don't need to know that.
TMI. TMI.
But that was killing people at one time, remember?
Yes, it
Well, that's
was.
what I'm wondering about the
was.
cloth. If they're bleached and you're actually putting that bleached cotton up against your baby's bottom, then
Right.
I could see it would be problematic.
Right.
That is a whole lot of
Yeah,
problem
but
that
it
we
could
didn't
be,
realize.
as opposed to cloth, it would be.
Maybe it's an organic. Remember we had
It's
those
a
other.
cloth inside the plastic.
Remember we had those other things in that were organic with a nano strip and.
Okay, how the hell did this show get out of control? You mean those?
I wasn't gonna say, but yeah.
There's these pads. You put them on the beach, and when a hurricane comes, we won't have a problem.
gonna put 'em in your
You won't have
backyard.
sand erosion and nothing, because these are super duper absorbent from space.
Right.
But think about it, even what Paul does, you've got adult and senior communities and they need adult diapers, you need
Depends,
adult cleaning wipes. I mean, it goes right back to where you started is all I can tell
had
you, and
to
all
get-
of that costs money.
I
It's full
had-
circle, 100%.
I had to get those from my father. I'm going to tell you something. It is hard to tell an 86, 87-year-old man, okay, I need you to wear these. I ain't putting that on. Oy. So it was very difficult. He wouldn't do the depends. So they have these pieces that you put in underwear. But they only work when you wear the right underwear.
Right.
When you're wearing the wrong underwear, that don't work either.
Or no underwear. It doesn't work. Yeah.
Forget about that part. That was another story. That's his dad. I love you. And the wheelchair. How to get my father into a wheelchair? I had to take him to what you guys consider Publix. And I had to show him how riding a wheelchair was cool.
Right.
So he got into riding that little car. You know little cars they have in the stores? He took out a whole Frito-Lay section.
That end cap is gone?
I mean, the whole section, from the beginning to the end. And he looks back, he says, wow, I did all that? And I says, yeah, Dad, and I got to clean it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It goes full circle again, and you just, all I can say is you want to do it with dignity.
My sons say that to me.
I know.
I say, listen, I did it for you, you're going to do it for me.
So you just get your plans in place early and drink heavily, as they say, after 5.
Drink Gubba.
Right.
Drink Gubba rum.
Drink up a rum.
You see,
Amen.
that's the reason you're here. You're the segue.
That was
We'll
heavily.
segue, drink heavily when you can. After 5 and responsibly always.
Always.
What do you got going on? You got a pregame with us on the next hour?
You name it, we deliver.
Nice.
Do you leave tonight?
Yes.
You know
I am
what's going to
going
end
to the
up
Big
happening?
Easy tonight.
You know what's going to end up happening?
No,
As
but
soon
you're going
as
to
you
tell me.
leave- As soon as you leave, I'll be calling you. Okay, talk to, because this is what I'm going to do. Talk to them, talk to them, talk to them.
Yep, a line of people for you to talk to.
And
Because
never-
if people are, things are opening up again, and people are investing in their businesses. They're taking it to the next level right now. All of a sudden, everyone sees the light, as they say.
Well, hopefully I'm going to have some very good things happen tomorrow in New Orleans. Very excited about that. We've got some other things that are just starting to percolate. And
You're going to Orleans and then going back to home?
Yes,
Why didn't you just come back to Florida?
because I have people telling me that if you don't come home, you'll shortly be living by yourself.
Oh.
And I don't want to do that. I like company.
So you going home for a day changes the equation?
No. You mean if I had stayed for St. Patrick's Day here at the Brooklyn Cafe Extravaganza.
Well, I understand you're going to New Orleans because over there St. Patty's Day is like nuts.
Yeah, so I hear.
Oh, it is.
I was heading there 2 years ago, and that trip got,
Wiped
if you
out.
remember that?
But it's crazy there during St. Patty's.
Yeah, no, that should be fun. But we're not going to be participating in that. We're going to go to the Carousel Bar at the Monteleone tomorrow night. And we're going to see Lena Prima, Louis Prima's daughter, who is just spectacular. And if you like Louis Prima and you know who he is, check him out. He's great. He was a great.
Where are you seeing him?
Well, he's not performing. He's been gone for a while. His daughter Lena is at the Carousel Bar at the Hotel Monteleone tomorrow night and Saturday night. But I'm going to be there tomorrow night.
This is in New Orleans?
In New Orleans, yeah. I haven't seen her since before COVID, and I consider her to be a friend. Gave her a bottle of Gubba rum about 2.5, 3 years ago, and so she's at least known who I am ever since.
Have you ever thought of making Gubba rum barbecue sauce?
So you gave her a bottle.
I sure
and
did.
that makes you a friend?
You bet. We're like this. We're like this.
I'm going to start a new show, the Daily Gum Set. You get a bottle, you become a friend.
You're my friend. You buy a
Does
bottle.
she even know you?
Yeah, she does. You want me to show you the messages we do back and forth on Instagram? It's
believe
true.
you.
I'm serious. I'm
just
not lying.
shocked.
It's all good.
He shocks me.
I drove up to Port St. Lucie when she was there 3 years ago at some Italian festival. It wasn't San Gennaro. It was the middle of summer. It was pouring rain, and I was a crazy person. I actually drove in the rain up to see her. She was great.
And she remembered you then?
She'll remember me
But
tonight.
don't worry, Steve will always be back. He's going to be with us on the next hour. We got to get pregame and going for St. Patrick's Day. For more information, contact Paul Solomon, definitely at Luhu Advisors. His number is 954-540-6609. Going to get ready to flip into our next hour. We've got some current events we're going to be talking about.
Yes, we're going to be talking current events and a couple of wacky stuff that's happening in the news.
A lot of wacky stuff that's happening in the news. I got to tell you, I like our bubble right here. And always, we're here to educate, inform, and help share our resources. So if we can ever do anything for you, give us a call, 866-224-5422. Let us help amplify your impact and share your business. Ready to wrap this up?
Now remember, when we switch, you got to give them a different number. Don't do what I did yesterday.
866-224-5422?
No.
That's your phone number.
No.
Call
Call
Freddie.
into the show.
We'll do that on the next hour.
On the next hour.
All right.
Just don't forget that.
We'll flip-flop that over. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. Happy St. Patty's Day. You can stay tuned in with us on our streaming platform for the next hour, and of course, live tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day. And we'll see you in a little bit.
Well, that wraps up our brunch hour. But don't go away. Stay tuned for more laughs and cheers on Facebook or YouTube or any other social media platform at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. See you soon.
Sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all. Sweeping me away like an avalanche. listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that gleams across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could fly away. That's why I wanna save her. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls arise, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, but words can't say it all. Sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. Crashing walls and waterfalls and crystal balls can see. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, but words can't say it all. Take my breath away like an avalanche, like an avalanche, like an avalanche, like an avalanche, sweeping me away like an
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. Slick,
Oh, Slick
stop
is singing for us.
Oh my God.
Like, you know, she's dropping a new song, actually, isn't she?
She's dropping a new song on the 18th.
Which is Friday. Ding, 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 right around
and
the corner.
then she said that she was going to come sing it to me, but we'll see.
Nice. Remember when Marilyn came and sang to you, kissed you on your forehead, had that little red lipstick back at up at the other place?
No.
No?
No. I know that JC Dreesen is coming.
She's coming on Friday.
She'll be singing. And I have the violinist coming.
Really?
What was her name?
Kim.
Kim
Jafar.
She's coming on Friday as well.
Nice.
So I'll have the two of them go back and forth, sing and play.
Yeah, JC's going to be on Eileen's show, so she said she's going to stay.
Yeah, so she's going to bring us some tracks to play.
Awesome. I think Slick will be in house, and we're going to celebrate Kenny Love's 2-year anniversary. Are you leaving? Or are you coming?
Let me know when you guys want to play these spots.
Well, let's
Yeah, so we're going to announce it. We're going to set it up first. Which one are we doing first?
My voice is warmed up. You heard?
Yes, we will.
I just don't know. Just let me know. Just let me know.
All right, so over the week, some wacky news has occurred. And I wanted to play it, and I know that Gub is here. He'll enjoy this. I wanted to play a piece. Which one do you want to go to? Do you want to go with the guy killing the homeless, or do you want to go with...
None of these are uplifting news the way
This
you
is
just presented
all
this.
uplifting.
None of it is. It's not wacky. It's horrific.
No, it's not. Let's go to Russia first. So in Russia, something occurred, and over 1 million people watched this anchor, this newscasting, and this lady jumped out in front of the cameras. And I'm going to let you see what went on, and we're going to let you see what went on afterwards, because we got an update video on this as well.
All right.
So let's roll the Russian piece first, please. I feel like Kenny Love.
You like it?
Yeah, but I don't get nothing. So I guess Slick said all that for nothing.
Only Kenny loves it when he goes, let's roll that piece. They actually roll the piece.
Where's the piece? You want to talk about the Russian piece. Russian piece. Russian. There's only one piece in there. Wow.
I feel like I'm in a Disney
She made
ride.
headlines around the world when she walked through a Russian TV newscast protesting the war in Ukraine. She was quickly arrested and denounced by the Kremlin. And as concern for her was building, today the TV journalist who boldly stood up to Vladimir Putin surfaced. Amber Cagliano has more.
The world is embracing the brave Russian TV producer who risked it all when she crashed the set of Russia's most watched live TV newscasts. Her one-woman protest lasting just 6 seconds before the station cut away. But those few seconds have earned her the respect of freedom-loving people everywhere.
Boy, everybody's giving that woman a salute.
What a brave and bold act.
The unbelievable courage. Marina Ovsenikova held up a handwritten "No War" sign and yelled, "Stop the war," as a Russian anchorwoman read the news, ignoring what was going on behind her. According to reports, Marina was immediately taken into custody. The Kremlin calling her protest an act of hooliganism. There were fears that Marina would never be seen again. Her whereabouts, a mystery.
They'll surely want to make an example out of her. That's how they do things in Russia. They don't like this type of thing because if she gets away with it, then other people will get away with it.
But here she is today after a court hearing in Moscow. She says she was interrogated for 14 hours and continued to denounce the Russian invasion.
It was really terrible.
No trial for her, not in Putin's Russia. She was found guilty of organizing an unauthorized rally and fined 30,000 rubles. That may sound like a lot, but with the weight of Western sanctions and the collapse of the Russian economy, it's about $280. But Marina reportedly still faces criminal charges that could land her behind bars for 15 years. Famed legal scholar Alan Dershowitz has been interviewed by Marina multiple times.
I always knew she was a courageous, gutsy, tough woman, but this took extraordinary chutzpah.
Here's what we know about this brave woman. She's 44 and the mother of 2 children. She works, or should we say worked, as a producer for Channel One, Russia's most popular TV channel. She chose her moment well, the 7 p.m. news, with millions of Russians tuning in to a heavily censored report on the invasion of Ukraine. Marina's message to her country, men and women: don't believe the propaganda. They're lying to you here.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky joined the world in hailing that TV producer, saying he's thankful to her and all Russians who won't stop trying to deliver the truth.
Well, I just wanted to, I wanted to put that on the air because the more we show it and talk about it, the more powerful the message is. I mean, boy, you really have to have a big set on you to do that. Knowing you have 2 kids, knowing you're going to face the consequences. I thought she was going to be sent to Siberia.
I got to tell you, you know what I love about Inside Edition is their delivery. You got to love the media and their delivery. Same story. Inside Edition's going to deliver it this way of hailing her and kind of a lightish. She is the mother of 2 children and she's interviewed. I love the chutzpah from Alan Dershowitz, right? Another mainstream news channel might air the same exact story, but without the upbeat music, without the upbeat Deborah Norville doing it, and you're going to get a whole different feel on the same information.
Yeah, but the feel is the same. What
but the delivery is what's amazing.
I think that that she did it, and she did it during the news. It just showed courage.
She's courageous, yes.
Yeah, she did a video before she went out, and I don't have that one. I didn't ask Connor to pull it, where she was telling the people what she was doing, and she was explaining what she was attempting, she's going to attempt to do. And she went out and she did it. Now, everybody in the business over there knows about her. They know that she is on left field and she takes chances, but she actually did it, man.
She stands up for equality and rights and sharing information. Everything that we have the privilege to do here in the United States, uncensored.
And you know that everything in Russia is all about propaganda. He's been leading,
blowing out Connor's ear.
20 years of propaganda for this day, and nobody believes that Putin would do this. Nobody in Russia believes it. Now, 62 people are watching the show from Russia. I don't know how they get in the feed. They're watching our show.
On
and I'm gonna
Roku,
be
right?
posting it on Roku and Amazon. And I'm telling you, he's lying to you. It's just really simple. It's like I gotta send Stephen Gubb over there so that he can. What would you do if you met this young lady? What would you tell her?
What would I? She's one of the most courageous people I've ever met, if not the.
Would you do that? Would you get up and do that?
It's a hell of a. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to think I would, but you know, it's like you say, they'll send her to the gulag. She's got 2 kids.
What do you
I'm
do,
very
right?
surprised that she came out of a courthouse.
Oh, they
But-
have to, because people were massed at the courthouse. There was going to be a civil riot if they threw this woman.
I know, but that's not how they do things over there. And she really is, that she did that and had the courage to do it is extraordinary. There's really, my hope, and typically she's a very attractive woman, somebody's going to rescue her from Russia. She'll get out and she'll become she's beautiful. She'll be a model. She'll make billions of dollars.
They'll bring her over
And
here to
power
do a
to
news
her.
broadcast.
She deserves it. That
Next
she has
Barbara
fulfilled-
Walters.
She has fulfilled her act of courage for her life. She didn't have to do anything else after that.
Well, true. The U.S. said you have to release her. Everyone knew. Everyone said you can't detain her. They were going to start World War III by keeping her.
Well, no, they weren't going to start
False
Oh,
World War III.
pretenses.
But I don't think they let her go because the U.S. said anything. I think that the bottom line is that they let her go because they would have had a bigger riot. There was 15,000 Russians arrested for protesting the war. 15,000. Do you know what that is? There's no compound big enough to hold 15,000.
And they don't dismiss the charges over there.
Not at all. You get 15 years for holding up a sign.
Yeah, no, it's extraordinary what's going on.
But the reason I did it was I was going to ask the question, would you do it? Would you have done it?
I don't know if I would have done it and jeopardized my kids, my family. You don't know. Your life, you're putting your life in your hands, your own hands, by actively standing up. But if we don't stand up, if people like this woman don't stand up, history is bound to repeat itself.
So do you do it?
Maybe you do it. Maybe you just
Not
take
a
that-
maybe. Yes
I guess
or
you do
no?
it, because you know what? She is the only one that's going to get the information out. Again, as we enter the same Hitler type of regime that we're seeing in Russia, for people who didn't stand up then, who would maybe stand up now, maybe she's learned from history and says, you know what? I got to stand up.
Do we stand up to a bully?
You know, it's funny what you said in the last hour, Dawn, is that how shocked you were speaking with a Holocaust survivor and how shocked that person is to actually see this kind of stuff happen again. I mean, Putin took the exact same actions as Hitler did in 1938 with Czechoslovakia, the Sudetenland. It's exactly the same thing. And, but the idea that we should be shocked at events in Europe, you know, Europe has really been, in many ways, the same now as it's been for 1,500 years, 1,600 years. The European countries have been at war with each other for hundreds and hundreds of years, off and on. The 100 Years' War is a great example. The folks in the Balkans, unfortunately, have been killing each other for decades, hundreds of years. World War I started because one prince got shot and killed. Okay, and how many people died as a result? This has been going on forever, and it's still going on. So it's sad. It's horribly, horribly sad that in this day and age.
But then let me ask you a question, because you're an educated man. And again, people always say democracy, we change the president every 4 years. People in Europe tell me that's the wrong way. when you have a man in power, and I say man because I've never seen a woman pass 4 years, for 20 some odd years, isn't that a dangerous situation to give one person that much power for a number of years?
Well, of course, but in that country, the way it works and has historically worked, with no tradition whatsoever of democracy, that's what happens. China's the same way. They have a dictator. There was no tradition of democracy in China ever. So this is the government. The Chinese Communist Party today it works as a dictatorship. Germany had a pretty decent tradition of democracy, not like the British. The British tradition of democracy goes back 1,000 years, with beginning with the Magna Carta. The French was a monarchy. France was a monarchy until the French Revolution. Germany didn't exist until the 1870s, 1880s, when it was united by Bismarck. Italy was the same thing. It was were dozens of nation states until the late 1800s. There were no traditions of democracy. That's why the United States is so unique, because this is the only place where the grand experiment is taking place. Even Canada's not the same, as we just witnessed.
So how can one person have so much power? You know, I get crazy when they pass laws like they did in Texas, and I don't even know, did he sign it in Florida?
I don't know, it was supposed to go before last week.
I haven't heard he signed it.
Connor, can you look up and see if our great governor of the state that we live in signed the abortion bill, the 15-week abortion bill?
But I just get crazy when one person can dictate all the lives of so many people. It's like, it's my way, not your way. Even though there's thousands of you and there's one of me, I'm going to tell you how you should live. How does that translate into human thought?
How could it be that there were kings? When everybody was a peasant, and if all the peasants had rebelled against one king, they could have taken over, but it never happened. It never happened.
Apparently that bill passed here in Florida.
Well, it didn't make any noise. But the funny thing is that one person can, now they're going to tell you it goes through Congress, it goes through this, it goes through that. Okay, I get it here. But when you go to other places, one person with a hammer is going to say, this is what we're going to do. That's it. Castro, who came out of famine, is a dictator.
Yes,
he had promised that he was never going to do that.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
He lied.
Well, you know, when a particular person has control of the military or the police, and they have the weapons, and you don't, well, the conflict becomes one-sided. Now, Zelensky has handed out AK-47s, assault rifle. I'm not even going to use the term assault rifle. That's a misnomer. He's handed out military-grade weapons to his entire population so that there will be a civilian defense force. So they have a shot.
They got no shot.
And there's a lesson there. Don't kid yourself. There's a lesson there.
The only shot is killing Russian soldiers.
Yeah, it's too
now,
bad.
Did you see yesterday? Oh, I should have asked you to look this up, Connor. They have captured Russian soldiers, not handcuffed, nothing, sitting down, and they're saying to their fellow Russian soldiers, you've been lied to, we've been lied to, we spoke and see what's going on. And they're killing people here. This is an abomination. This is about getting rid of a people. Now, the Jews understand what that's like because you went through it, you know? It's very difficult to understand what's happening until you're on the other side. So these Russian soldiers are saying, this is wrong. We were lied to. We were sent here because we were told that they were being persecuted, the people. It's a lie.
Can they get asylum in another country, the soldiers?
Well, I'm pretty sure that if they came out...
Can they, like, defect to Ukraine and say, you know what, we don't support this anymore?
Absolutely.
Why not?
But they're afraid they're going to get shot.
I bet you Zelensky would love to have Russian soldiers
So
on
can you
his
imagine
side.
that happening? Can you imagine if this isn't true? And I'm sure there are some soldiers that are not in agreement with this and say, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm going to stand up, just like this reporter did, and said, and they're not even in Russia, right? They're out. So
They're in the Ukraine.
by all intents and purposes, they're not even there. They could, I don't know what it's called in Europe, defect, go, leave, all of that.
This isn't the first time. Abraham Lincoln passed the Emancipation Proclamation and said any slave in the South that comes to the North and fights will be a free man. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're talking about. Now Poland and all the countries, the Baltic countries that are around Ukraine, they all went by train to the
Summit.
capital.
Yeah, they all met at the Ukraine.
And there's bombs going on above their heads, and they're like this, and they're all talking about this has got to stop. I would open all those doors and say, every soldier with no arms come across and give them a corridor to leave. You know what Putin's going to do? He's going to just go ballistic. He's going to go and attack his own soldiers to stop them from doing that. Because you're dealing with a madman. This guy
That's crazy.
is insane.
But you've got more information, right? More topics, hot topics?
We got another
after
topic.
Commercial break?
Okay, we have
Let's
another
take a
topic.
quick break. When we come back, Freddie's other hot topic.
Hot topic.
So stay tuned.
Thank you, Connor.
Give us a call, 888-994-4995. For Studio A, press 1. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Coming to a theater near you, a new musical you won't want to miss. Mario Lanza, His Life, His Song, celebrating the life of renowned tenor and movie star Mario Lanza, starring tenor Ian Michael as Mario Lanza with soprano Maria Kesselman. Watch these award-winning operatic singers in a sensational theatrical evening of music, laughter, and drama. With 7 shows throughout London, don't miss your chance to see this spectacular performance in person, beginning March 24th through May 15th, or catch it on the Brooklyn Cafe's live stream on April 14th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit mariolanzamusical.com.
Breathing through my troubles, trying to be smart, living with another, passion in my heart, partners come and go, always with a twirl.
Providing music you will enjoy. JM Production performers will brighten up your stage. Condominiums and residential communities, nightclubs and restaurants that want to provide top quality singers and entertainers for their social events, banquets, celebrations, and their customers use JM Productions to ensure that they have an uplifting and beautiful event. Now, tune in for the show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hilary Taylor at drthc.net. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology and now practice as a certified life coach. At Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community, we will work together using a holistic approach to improve and maintain your wellness and take the first steps towards creating the life that you want, need, and deserve. Call me today at 1-833-552-4442. And remember, drthc.net.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. I am so glad today we got an early start. Where are we headed anyway?
Who knows? Wherever this glorious day takes us, and we'll take Don Pablo along too. Rich and flavorful with low acidity and notes of caramel. No matter where you're going or where you end up, Don Pablo never disappoints.
Excuse me, is that Don Pablo coffee?
Sure is.
Do you have any more?
Sure do. Then hop in.
No matter where life takes you, Don Pablo Coffee is always there to pick you up.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
All right, and we're back. So my second piece of news is about this crazy dude who kills homeless people.
Could you find some uplifting news maybe
They
next
did.
time?
They caught him.
That's not uplifting. He kills
Oh, it's
people.
very uplifting because as you're going to see, let me know when you have it queued up. As what you're going to see is the full story of what happens when people get together and put a stop to crazy.
There you go.
Check
All
it
right,
out.
let's see.
Check it out.
A serial killer is on the loose. That's the grim message from cops after deadly attacks on homeless men in New York City and Washington, D.C., allegedly by the same guy. Police say the attacker first shot 3 people in Washington, D.C. over a 6-day period. 1 victim was killed. Police released this video of a suspect. Then they say he made his way 200 miles to New York City, where he shot 2 more homeless men. 1 victim was slain. In this video, you can see the suspect poking one of his victims with his foot before he opened fire. The mayors of D.C. and New York City issued an extraordinary joint statement declaring, "We now have a cold-blooded killer on the loose." Criminologist Scott Bond.
Unless he's caught, I would say there's an extremely high degree of likelihood that he will kill and kill again soon.
Meanwhile, here in New York City, another intensive manhunt is underway for a suspect who stabbed 2 people here at the world-famous Museum of Modern Art. It's a popular destination for art lovers, but the suspect reportedly lost it after he was denied admission because his museum membership was revoked due to previous instances of disorderly conduct. The knife men can be seen leaping over the counter and stabbing 2 staff members. The museum was evacuated.
What the hell's going on?
The 2 victims were rushed to the hospital.
Thank God they appeared to be non-life-threatening injuries.
But the suspect, identified as 60-year-old Gary Cabana, is still on the loose. He even sent a taunting and nutty text to a New York Post reporter blaming the victims. They were in on the backstabbing too. "I don't backstab. I do the front side only." Did he admit to the stabbings in your messages?
He made statements that indicated he stabbed these 2 individuals because he felt betrayed.
Comes the good news.
Really?
So let's roll the second tape. Yeah.
Arrests have been made in 2 of the latest crime stories we've told you about. Both the men suspected of shooting at least 5 homeless men was nabbed in Washington, D.C., and cops have arrested that irate museum patron accused of stabbing 2 people in New York City. Les Trent reports authorities are crediting members of the public for sharing tips.
He's busted. Cops say the serial killer suspect in the homeless shooting spree is in custody today. Arrested goes the headline on the D.C. police Twitter page following an intense manhunt that ended in his bust at a gas station in the nation's capital.
Detectives were relentless in their pursuit of video, which enabled us to disseminate clear images to the public, who were ultimately instrumental in identifying the perpetrator wanted for these unspeakable crimes.
He's identified as Gerald Brevard III. His father was quoted as saying he has a long history of mental disease. Cops believe he shot 3 homeless men in D.C., then went 200 miles to New York City, where they say he shot 2 more homeless people before returning to Washington. 2 men were slain in the rampage. And another high-profile manhunt has also ended in success. Police say they've nabbed the guy wanted for leaping over the reception desk at New York's Museum of Modern Art and stabbing 2 people.
The 60-year-old suspect remained active on social media during the 3-day search, taunting police as he made his way to Philadelphia, where cops say he set fire to his hotel room. He was found sleeping on a bench inside this Greyhound bus station.
The museum attack came after Gary Cabana was told his museum membership had been revoked for disorderly behavior. In a message to a newspaper reporter, he wrote, "When they said I couldn't go upstairs to see Van Gogh's painting The Starry Night ever again, I lost it."
The 2 stabbed museum workers are expected to recover.
Again, hashtag what is wrong with people?
Okay, but check it out. It's because they got tips. People called in, people got together and says enough of this. I'm looking at Putin throwing in the gas station on the floor and getting rid of that dude. I'm telling you, it works. People get together, magical things happen. I'm sorry that the people got stabbed. I'm sorry people got shot. A couple of people died. I get
horrible.
it. It's horrible. But they got these maniacs off the streets. Can you imagine if they made themselves down here and he's sitting next to Gubba in here? You don't know.
I just don't understand the state of people. That the mental health component of what people are going through right now is absolutely off the chain.
And how is people with mental health getting the guns and the knives and they're using it?
You just walk in and you buy.
Well, that's a problem.
It's a huge problem.
Yes, Steve.
Frequently, too frequently, when we hear these reports of crimes, the immediate response that we hear in the media is he's suffering from mental illness. Really.
Right.
Every single, I mean, I could talk about a particular category of crimes to which public officials attribute, or which are attributed to people who have mental illness. Maybe not. Maybe they're bad guys.
Right. They just use
And there are we get a lot of this. As soon as we hear that, in fact, there's a particular person in the media who always plays a tape when he hears these types of stories about a mother talking about a son who'd been arrested after some particularly, as they say, heinous crime, saying he's a good boy, a very good boy. Well, no.
No.
So what are you going to do?
The bad people thing, the mental illness, I cannot wrap my head around certain things. And you and I have this conversation all the time, and you say, why? It's just what people are like. But why are people like that?
You see, you want an answer to the problem. And there is no answer to the problem.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time, people have murdered people. Since the beginning of time. We're the only species that kills one another for no reason. Animals do it to eat them, or to survive, or they're scared, whatever. Humans don't do that. Human beings are a creature unlike anything in the universe, where we will turn against one another and we don't learn a lesson. Now, I watched a movie the other day, I can't remember the name of it, where we were put on this earth as a plant to see if we can get along with one another, and because we couldn't, they decided to bring out these speck of things that was eating everything alive, and they had to beg the guy to stop after half the world was gone. That's the one where the giant stadium gets eaten.
Like Jack and the Beanstalk?
What?
No, I'm kidding.
No. You see, that's the problem, is that we don't understand why, and because of it, we abandon the search for why.
You should be a philosophy teacher, professor.
It's not that. It's that I'm telling you the truth. Think about it. It's common sense. We abandon trying to figure out why we are the way we are towards one another.
You know why? Because this becomes entertaining news. Because
that didn't entertain me.
But it entertains other people. This becomes like video gaming, right? When you can, we talk about this all the time. You can kill people in a video game, game over, and you start again. There are no consequences to actions.
Accountability, you mean?
Accountability. People don't realize that life is not a video game. You can't go around doing things like this. And thankfully, they caught them. But think how many people are not caught.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with the lack of intelligence that we are now going through as a people. Because you can hate somebody for the color of their skin.
That's because people get their information from social media.
You can put Clorox in your veins because some madman says put Clorox in
Have
your
you
veins.
heard the latest?
Oh, I'm kidding.
Anti-aging, the bleach cleaner that you use on your fish tanks.
Oh, I heard this.
People are allegedly, do not try this at home, ingesting this for anti-aging.
Yeah, you suck down the fish tank cleaner and you're supposed to be younger. You know why you're going to be younger? Because they're going to put you in a box for poisoning yourself and you're going to go backwards. How stupid can you be?
So one of the comedians last night says, well, yeah, if that really worked, goldfish would live longer than 6 days.
True that. And look better.
Right?
What about when they took the Tide and put it in their mouth to see if you can sing a song or something? The Tide Challenge.
The Tide Pods. I just don't understand the things that people do. But yeah, that seems to be the latest of ideas. I don't know where people get these ideas.
Or let's have frat night where you have a kid drink so much alcohol and then you turn them upside down and make him drink upside down. And of course, the human anatomy will show that you will choke to death that way and you will die.
Connor, have you been in a fraternity? No. Do you know the funny thing is Aaron, when he went to college, he was so gung-ho to be in a frat, and he was in this frat, and the frat was shut down because of whatever formal night when they went away. They got taken over by another frat. He loved frat life. It was his whole life. It cost a bloody fortune for frat life. And then he says, oh, my son's not allowed to be in a frat. Really?
Who said that?
Aaron.
Who said my son?
Aaron. He said, when I have a son, he will not be allowed to be in a frat. I said, but wait, you went through all of this. You had to do it.
Was he a frat?
Yes. Love the frat. He says, not allowed. I said, what if we had told you you would not have been allowed to be in a fraternity? He says, you should have. Really? We should. So it's interesting. You never know your kid until you don't know your kid.
That's because the truth happened and he knows. I went to NYU and there was frat day. And I went to being curious. I went to check it out. And there's this guy. He's about 6 foot. He's like Cole, 6'4", 6'8", and he has this paddle with the letters on it from the frat house. So I said to him, "And what are you going to do with that?" He says, "Oh, this is initiation. You should come. We love our brothers. Come." I said, "I'm gonna tell you something. You hit me with that thing, I'll go get my 45. It'll be all over." There won't be a frat member left.
That's frat Bronx style.
I never. How stupid. Okay, I'm going to grab my socks and you hit me. Really? How stupid is that? That's not love.
I wonder if any of these guys are in fraternities.
Cole, are you in a fraternity?
No. JP?
Would you ever join one?
No. I'm not paying for friends.
She's not paying for friends.
What about paying? What if they said, come in and let us whack you hard and it...
Maybe.
He likes pain.
Maybe. Well, in that case.
I'm looking at this backpack all day, and I'm thinking, Steve, why does your backpack not have your initials?
It's
my. And then I realized.
I carry it, even though it's worn out and the zippers are broken, quite honestly, because I'm the biggest sap in the universe. And my mother gave this to my son, Jesse.
So
it's
then
Jesse
it goes with the End School Zone poster in Jesse's room.
I'm sorry?
It goes with the End School Zone placard in Jesse's room,
that's,
too.
Yeah, that's Jesse's room.
That's Jesse's
you
room,
know, and when you mentioned it, I went right to you saw me go to the sign. I thought it was just hanging on a nail. It's screwed into the door.
Of course it is.
Yeah, of course it is. So
Kenny Love is still talking about that.
I'm sorry?
Kenny Love is still talking about that.
But now he has Jesse's backpack, too.
You should see the rest of the room. There's all sorts. I mean, he hasn't lived at home in, I don't know, what's it been, 12 years now? No, 15 years. He's going to be 34 at the end of the month.
Why do you have your son's bedroom if he doesn't live there in 15 years?
He's married with kids.
What am I going to do? I'm not going to...
Make it a different type of bedroom.
Because, as I think Dawn will attest, this is my son's bedroom. I'm not going to move him out of the bedroom. When I went to college, okay, I was out the door. I think the car was pulling out of the driveway. My mother already had me moved out of my bedroom with a couch in the room and a TV. I came home, I remember, whatever the first time was. I go, where's my room? I was out of there. There was no way I was going back.
So what's wrong with that?
No, nothing.
So why is your child's stuff still in the room?
Because I'm as the most sentimental human being around. That's why. Both of my son's bedrooms still have all their things in them.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not.
Why don't you make one like a sound room where you have a big TV screen and you got chairs in there?
Because I don't care about that. You mean a man cave?
Yeah.
First of all, I hate the word man cave.
I didn't call it that. You did.
Well, I didn't create it. That concept is. I'm not real big on that concept.
Like a theater, a movie
A theater might be nice, but we had to repair our den because the roof collapsed about 6 years ago in a snowstorm. So we had to rebuild it, and we have a lovely den with a fine TV. I'm done. What else do I have to do?
Kids move in here. When you move here, the kids' rooms will no longer be.
That's true.
That's why he doesn't move, because he's like this. I wonder if they're ever going to come back.
But I got to tell you, when I moved, that was probably the hardest part of it, was the kids
taking the kids' rooms apart, right?
They had to pack up their own rooms, and right now we're in the middle of redoing our closets in the new house, and all the stuff that we moved from the old house to the new house, and we just put it in the closet. Last night, you should see no, they got to come back and go through it again, and it got to start purging.
We still have these big portfolio envelopes with their artwork from first grade.
Oh, so do I. It's in a big folder.
It's in a big folder in the closet.
Do you have your kids' artwork?
Go ahead, you throw it out. Go ahead.
Yep, I got it.
You cold-hearted SOB.
I got their artwork. I've got the Legos. I've got their baby clothes.
I got trophies from when Freddie and Gio play football. And
Okay.
baseball. I got so many trophies. I should take the sticker off and get a new plate and give them out to the kids as awards.
Well,
I got so many. I got over 100.
Recycle them, yeah.
Don, you just said you have the Legos. In the meantime, now we have a 2.5-year-old granddaughter. She plays with the Legos from 30 years ago. She has a great time. The most exciting thing, the most fun thing in the world is her playing with the Legos in the den. Love it.
She's adorable.
She is. She's
Does she
really
stay in the
terrific.
bedrooms with the kids?
We had her a couple of times where she stayed overnight. She stays in my son Daniel in Uncle Daniel's room, where she knows this is Uncle Daniel's room. And I brought her a little the Beanie Baby character. There was one. It's a panda bear, and she calls it Pandy. She saw it. She said, "Is that for me?" She's got that part figured out.
Yeah, wait till you have a
She's
granddaughter.
great. She's great.
Oh, just wait. You're going to act like that.
They don't give. My kids don't make girls.
You don't make girls either, I guess.
The-
It must be a Santori. Well, no, your sister.
My sister was a freak of accident. We thought she's the mailman's kid. She's the only girl. Her and Myra.
What about Awilda?
Awilda belongs to my mother's sister.
Oh, different side.
Yeah.
So all men on the Santori family.
All men.
Except Mimi.
Except for Mimi. Mimi was the only girl. And then she had Lisa. So you go figure. Frankie, I guess,
It's
does both.
because, yeah, exactly.
We don't do that. We only do boys.
Hey, there was me and my two boys, and when they were in elementary school one night, Francine was out till about 10 o'clock at night. She sings in a choral society. She comes home about after 10 o'clock, and they were in elementary school, first, second grade. And the three of us are sitting in the den watching a hockey game. She says, "What are you doing?" I go, "We're watching the Bruins. What are we supposed to be?" She looked like I'm nuts for letting them be up at 10 o'clock at night watching a hockey game. And I'm sure we were eating popcorn or whatever we were doing. It was
That's what happens
hysterical.
when dads babysit.
You bet
Ever
it is.
notice when dads stay with the kids, they're babysitting? When mom's with the kids, mom's with the kids. I got the kids. When dads are babysitting.
Well, it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock at night. Where are you going to go? I mean, we can't take them to a strip joint when they're 7 years old. That's not going to work.
But you're not babysitting; they're your kids. So
No, it's true. I mean, we're with them. They were thrilled that we were having a grand old time.
of course, Chuck once stayed with the kids. And next thing I knew, Aaron had a bloody nose. Chelsea had wrapped him up in a yoga mat and dropped him on his face. I got the phone call. You have any idea what just happened? No, because I'm not there. Chelsea had rolled Aaron up in a yoga mat and thought it'd be funny and then dropped him.
I love, it's like Freddie doesn't trust me with Rowan because he knows that I'll take Rowan with me. I'd let him drive the car if he wants. I don't care.
Alana, you got to share the car.
I don't care. You know, the bottom line is my kids, they used to hang out with me everywhere. I used to go to a restaurant. They were so well behaved. I have a plaque from Willie Stargell signing something for Freddie. Because he said to him, I never seen anybody, a child so well behaved. And he signed it right there. Went to this restaurant, and I still have the plaque at home. I could take him anywhere, and my kids were well behaved. Anywhere. Gio used to take care, when I used to do mortgages in the basement, he used to have the kids upstairs, and he used to entertain them, watching TV. I made sandwiches to get the kids out of the way for the parents. I had to pay them $5 a day.
Were you well behaved when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Were you
I was
really?
the best.
Never got in trouble.
I used to volunteer to go to summer school.
Really?
Wow.
That's very impressive.
You're a good kid.
That's a good kid.
Do we have
gotta understand,
I was a
speak
good
English,
kid,
right?
but I had my moments. I mean,
Yeah, but you speak English.
Excuse me?
You speak English?
Most of the time,
And
yeah.
you speak English well. Freddie didn't speak English well.
Mhm.
So Freddie needed extra juice to speak English.
Right.
So I used to volunteer to go to summer school. My mother used to say, but Freddie, why don't you go to the pool with your, me and Juji? We're going to stay here. We're going to go to school. We're going to up the game. And it worked. I got skipped. You know, I went from 7th to 9th grade. My grades were phenomenal. I got all my NYU was a full ride. Listen, it worked. I put in the time and the work. I got to work for Frank's Army and Navy when I was 12 years old. I used to be taking the subway. My mother says, oh, I don't want you taking the subway. You're only 12. I said, Mom, I'm a big kid.
Were you a big kid?
I was.
Were you a big 12-year-old?
Yeah. And I was making $400 a week at Frank's Army and Navy. And I used to do the colors for the gang, so I got in with them. You know, I used to find my way. And this is 3rd Avenue in the Bronx. And, you know, 3rd Avenue is South Bronx. It's a tough place.
You got more news?
I do not. Connor, we don't have any more, right? So is it? I do not.
He doesn't know. All right.
Only news is what's Scubba doing.
Let's take a break. In 1954, CBS introduced The Morning Show, hosted by Walter Cronkite, to compete with The Today Show.
Walter Cronkite.
1954.
You remember Walter
Competition
Cronkite?
began.
You like Walter Cronkite?
I remember. I don't remember, but I remember a little back in the day.
You
Good day.
remember Walter, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's take a commercial break. More with Steve.
Today Show.
You remember all that?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I think Barbara Walters was on the show with him.
Might have been.
Remember Barbara Walters? She was the best.
She's still around.
Barbara Wawa. Stay
Barbara
tuned.
Wawa.
We'll be right back.
This portion of today's show is brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Show Coffee, made with organic Arabica beans.
With enough butter, anything is good. Tori Wells from Precious Treasure Gourmet Foods thinks so, because she single-handedly updated and expanded butter's possibilities. From compound, savory, sweet, and spicy, her freshly made butters aim to please. I don't know about you, but I've never really seen butter this versatile before, and now so feasible. With online shopping, just visit Precious Treasures Gourmet Foods.com, because at Precious Treasures, Tori is working on the best artisan gourmet foods to every table. Remember, guys, true love is like butter. There's no substitute for the real thing.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art.
His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40+ works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Is it? Tonight it's Purim. I should go out and get some Hamantaschen.
What?
Hamantaschen. You can't eat it, but...
The hell is that?
You were talking, was it last week, about mun?
I've never heard of mun before. What the heck is, I know, but what the heck is mun?
What is Hamantash?
Don, I was cracking up. You have no idea. When I heard that discussion, I was hysterical laughing.
What is Hamantash?
A Hamantaschen is a triangular pastry. It's modeled after the hat, the three-cornered hat worn by the evil person Haman, who wanted to destroy the Jews. Because after all, every holiday, most every holiday that we celebrate as Jews is...
They tried to kill us, they didn't succeed, and we ate.
And exactly, that's our holiday.
Why is it that everybody's always trying to kill you guys?
They tried to kill us, they didn't, we're still here, we eat.
It's that we have such a bad attitude, it must be it, I don't know, but that's how it seems to go. But anyway, so Haman was the bad guy, and the king was married to Queen Esther, the Jewish, the fair, honest, wonderful savior of the Jewish people. She tips off her brother Mordechai that Haman wants to destroy the Jews, and the queen tells the king the tables are turned, and old Haman ends up hanging from the highest yardarm. And that was that. So we celebrate this, the fact that Queen Esther...
Did they hung him?
With groggers. And
yeah, we celebrate.
You dress
we read
up
the
like
story.
You dress up for Purim, like people here dress up for Halloween. You dress up for Purim.
But wait a minute, you're celebrating the death of this guy? Is that what you're doing?
Haman, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Because he was out to kill you guys.
Right, and if I have my story right, when the Jews, when the Hebrews had left Egypt, and they were marching through the desert, there was a people called Amalek, and that nation, they would attack the Hebrews from the rear and kill the weakest, who were bringing up the rear of the Hebrew tribe as they marched through the desert. And the biblical story is that God ordered Israel to destroy Amalek, and I believe the tradition is that Haman was part of that nation. So it's your obligation to destroy him.
You ever notice that everything you guys talk about is either you're hunted or you're hunting, destroying, everything you're destroying. Everybody dies.
But it's documented. We're
you were there?
Persecuted.
You were in the desert?
I was in the desert, yes.
Do I have to show you the videotape? Is that what we have to do?
Is that what it comes down to?
Remember one thing.
Book of Esther, see? Ask Alana.
Book of Esther, exactly.
There's a book?
There's a book, there's a movie, there's sandals, a T-shirt. I have the sunglasses. And the hat. I have the baseball hat.
They merchandise this
remember
murder?
one thing. Remember one thing. Louis Black, the comedian, he's got a great routine about God and religion and everything else. He talks about Christianity and he says, you believe in Jesus who loved everybody and forgave everybody, and love was the answer, and he was just the most wonderful thing. Peace, love, it was the most wonderful thing in the world. And if you want to know about my people, the Jewish people, let me tell you about my God. He says, whereas your God is all about love, my God is the meanest son of a bitch in the neighborhood. And he goes on and on and on with this comedy routine. It's hysterical. He's funnier than I am. What can I tell
They
you?
persecuted us. They didn't win.
So let me get this right. So I show some clips about current events, and you say, oh, that's a downer and everything. You've lived your whole life in war. You either avoid the bullets or you shoot back.
Yes.
Well,
according to what you guys were led to believe.
That's true. That's true. Except for that one little 6-year period during World War II where we didn't make out so well.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
World War II was real.
I'm going to go to 2nd Street and buy some Hamantaschen after the show.
But why are you eating Hamantasch?
Because it's to commemorate Haman's hat. So they fill it. It's a triangle pastry, and in the middle is either
It's sesame.
sesame.
It's a sesame
mun,
paste.
or apricot or prune, right?
Right. But the
Like jelly.
mun, I want to say it's a sesame paste.
Why are you
Poppy
eating?
seed, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
Poppy seed?
Poppy seeds,
Why
excuse
are
me.
you eating
Mun.
Mun.
Why?
Haman's hat.
Because we're eating Haman's hat.
To celebrate, you want to eat a hat? I'll
It's
give
to
you a hat to
commemorate.
eat.
It's like even on Passover, you do the 10 plagues.
it's
so
not a good thing.
It's the wine you dip to commemorate the 10 plagues.
It's like Good Friday. I always ask the priests, you kill Christ on Good Friday and you call it good.
Why is it good?
Because you're supposed to act good, not because he was killed. I know. It's just like your
I
hum
was
is
born
hum
on
hum
Good Friday.
thing. What?
Did you know I was born on Good Friday?
Of course, that's when he was
That's why it was such a good day.
I was born on Good Friday. And
you go.
actually, this year, Good
That's-
Friday happens to be the first night of Passover.
You were born on Great Friday because it was a great day.
Don't be pumping up the dress. Okay? Just
Oh, I'm
take it
sorry.
easy.
Shameless sucking up.
Take it,
Stay
take
out.
it easy.
As this year, Good Friday falls on the first night of Passover.
But they call Good Friday the day that Christ was killed. Now you got Passover, so you're going to pass over. There's a lot of stuff going on here. But we learn nothing about this. We have to change all the history. Nobody
Right.
learns anything.
So the angel of death passes over the house of the Jews.
And landed in Jerusalem where they crucified Christ.
Jeez, you're so sick.
Angel of death.
I believe that was the purple guy, Pontius,
Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilatus, yeah.
That would be fun. We should do a Passover Seder and hide the
could do
afikomen.
that.
Okay. What African what?
Afikomen.
What is that?
It's the piece of matzah
Slade,
you
they're
hide.
talking about you.
And
What?
then you find it and you get money.
Where do you guys get this stuff? There's a thing where you hide and you get money?
You hide the matzah. The kids look for it.
Matzah.
And then again,
It's a sacred piece of matzah, so it's called the afikomen.
It's a sacred
it's
piece
the
of
third
matzah.
piece in the pile.
It's
Who
the third.
actually? But here's the thing: whoever really puts 3 pieces of matzah on the plate?
Nobody.
I'm sorry?
Do you ever really just put 3 pieces of matzah on the plate?
Absolutely.
No, I usually just put a stack and then find a third in there.
Don't you have a cover with 3 sections?
No,
Listen, Keebler.
Go buy one.
I never knew.
Keebler has this
Keebler.
green container.
You don't do this with Oreos.
Will you listen to me? Keebler has this green container, a tin. I showed you up at Presidente. And they have these crackers.
Soda crackers?
100 soda crackers.
Soda crackers.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of matzah in there. Just pick one.
We could do that.
I mean, come on now. This is just ridiculous.
We could do that.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. So tonight we celebrate Haman. I'm going to go to 2nd Street and pick up some Hamantaschen.
Is there hummus involved in this somehow?
No.
Hamantaschen for Haman's. It's like Hamantaschen, Haman's hat.
Puerto Rican hat.
And you got to love Eileen because Eileen calls it mun.
I don't know what the hell you're talking
Ever
about.
eat it?
Oh, I can't look at it. I can't. No.
Let me ask you, are
I like the fruit filling.
Are Jewish people allowed to eat pork?
Eat
Are
what?
you allowed to eat pork?
Pork?
Can you eat a pork chop?
No, of course not.
You can't?
No. No, you cannot.
You don't eat bacon either?
No.
Bunch of lies. I seen you eat bacon.
I never said that.
He does not.
Absolutely not. I've said I
You had
made.
a bacon cheeseburger the other day with me at dinner.
You lying weasel. I never said
You
that.
probably didn't even have a cheeseburger.
No, you did.
You must have me confused with...
Steve-O.
Yes, Steve-O.
So you don't eat bacon at all?
No, I don't.
Not because of health reasons, just because of religious reasons.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I don't...
That's what I thought. And what about you, Einstein? Never mind. Don't even
I'll
answer.
eat it, but I never grew up with it. So it's like pork chops. It's not a thing for me. It's nothing I ever really acquired a taste for.
You know,
I usually get turkey bacon.
You know, Freddie, when I was small, my
Smaller?
father... I'm still small.
Smaller?
Thank you. Don't
And
you
you
have
like her
something to
commercial?
do out there?
When you were smaller.
When I was a young man, a very young man, I remember there being bacon in the refrigerator because why? Because my father was in World War II and he ate Spam and he ate bacon because that's what they gave him. And for a while, I mean, he still did, but then it stopped and it was never in the house.
Do you eat Spam?
No, there's no way. What are you? You're crazy. No way.
You eat White Castle?
Meat in a can. See, you kind of lose me on meat in a can. I'm not big on like tuna fish, other than the fact that I'm Jewish and you have to eat tuna fish because that's what we do, and salmon in the can. I only knew that
You
salmon.
eat Chinese food.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you do. Every Jew
kosher
eats
Chinese. I go to Manhattan for kosher
For New
Chinese.
Year's, what do you eat? Chinese food.
For New Year's?
Yeah, because you guys invade every restaurant.
No,
New Year's.
No, Christmas. There you go. Christmas Eve. Two things happen on Christmas Eve.
You eat
Jews
Chinese and
Jews
pick up
go to
my seat.
Chinese restaurants because all the Christians stay home, and we rent the ice arenas because we can play hockey because you're all going to church at midnight.
So you eat at the Chinaman, right?
That's right.
Okay. You think everything the Chinaman make in there is
I only eat fish.
Oh yeah, right.
The whole fish.
You
I
don't have
wouldn't
the
touch.
rice. You don't have the.
I wouldn't have anything else
You
myself.
don't have the beef and broccoli.
Talk to Dawn. She's a very observant
No, because
person.
Dawn don't eat. Dawn says,
Oh,
"Let me
good
have
point.
a seed," and that's what she eats. I said, "Where's the food?"
I know there's no food.
I'm not a big Chinese food person.
You're not a big food person to begin. We have to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up. I'm a big cookie person now. Hamantaschen it is. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow, 12 o'clock, as we get to celebrate St. Patty's Day.
And happy
Hanukkah.
Purim.
And happy Purim.
I hope it pours on you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can pick in every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save her. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just to reapply drops of ink that glaze across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could fly.